The beer we are trying today shares its name with something that represents peace, harmony and tranquility. Hopefully it's very similar feelings once we try what's in the can. Hello and welcome to another video on JD's Booze Reviews. Today we are trying Bonsai, a 4.8% pale ale from Duration Brewing. They are a brewery based in Norfolk on a farm. They are a brewery I have had on my radar for a while. I don't think I've ever tried any of their beers, and I've wanted to go to their tap room for many a year. When we go down to Norfolk and we go down to Great Yarmouth, I've had it on my map pinned as a to-go place, but never had the time, or never found the time rather. So very much excited to try this beer today. So let's get it poured. So this beer contains Idaho 7 hops, which from memory are known to be a little bit sort of sticky and resinous and kind of papaya, bubblegum, almost like a souped up citra, I think, in my eyes. Although I'm not getting that quite on the aroma, but it's before that, let's have a look at what's in the glass itself. So quite hazy, and definitely a bit different to the pale ale I had a few weeks ago. But yeah, definitely a hazy one. Duration are a bit more of a sort of craft brewery. I don't know why, it just seems that craft brewers are going down more the hazy route. I actually think that hazy beers tend to impart a bit more flavour. Weirdly, I don't know if that's a subconscious thing, but they seem to do taste a bit more flavoursome and juicy and that kind of stuff. Anyway, on the aroma, we're getting quite a grassy, earthy aroma. So maybe I've got in my head Idaho 7 completely wrong. There's that many hops out there, I do tend to get my head mixed up with them occasionally. Yeah, that's quite grassy and almost a slight metallic smell to it. Weirdly. But it is quite earthy and piney and yeah, like there is I think there's a hot bitterness I can smell as well. That kind of gives that sort of, not metallic, maybe metallic is the wrong word I was using, but like I don't want to use dank. Dank, not a word I'm a fan of, but it kind of has a sort of weed-like smell. Not quite as prominent as that, but when I've smoked pure hops before when doing like home brewing and stuff, it has quite a sharp smell to it, I find. And it's kind of what I'm getting here. Anyway, let's give it a taste. Ooh. Yeah, so that is quite earthy. Yeah, a little bit sort of straw, pine. Yeah, all those sort of earthy notes. Definitely has a sort of farm-like feel in the initial taste. There is a strong, quite a nice bitterness, but it's more in the finish. A little bit, It's got a little bit of like a bubblegum flavour. It's kind of got that, yeah, that sort of bubblegum flavour you'd get with like a wheat beer. But there's also a very juicy tropical flavour with it as well. So we're not in wheat beer territory, you'd be pleased to know, the pale ale. But it's very, yeah, sort of pineapple, stone fruit. It's more on the sharp side of, or like the earthy side of citrus fruits. Probably because of all the other flavours, but it's not like pure juice, like tropical juice. It's got a bit more dry, more of a drying, subtle citrus. Or maybe not even citrus. Yeah, it's definitely quite sort of stone fruity. It's definitely quite sharp and bitter. It's quite an enjoyable beer. It's, yeah, very earthy and bitter. The flavours of the hop are a little bit, it feels a bit muted. They're not prominent, but they're not, I mean, you can definitely taste them. So, yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing, that you can't, you know, you're not smacked in the face by all these tropical flavours. It's a nice, subtle flavour to it. I mean, if I was going to give the juiciness out of 10, I would give it sort of around sort of a 5 mark. It's very much, it's there, but it's not all you can taste. There's a bit more to it. But it has got this dominant flavour of sort of an earthy, dry, bitter beer, which is perfectly fine. I've had pale ales that are kind of very similar in terms of that sort of structure. But it's got the nice sort of juice flavours from the hop of this sort of mango, bubblegum type thing going on. Is very pleasant. It's very nice. It's definitely not a disappointing beer by any stretch of the imagination. It is a, yeah, enjoyable beer. Not super incredible in my opinion, but they don't have to be. You know, they don't all have to be 5 out of 5s or, you know, 4.5s or, you know, this would sit easily sort of 3 out of 5 for me, 3.5 out of 5. So it's better than average. Yeah, just a really solid beer if that's what you're into. I mean, we've done the review for however long now, and yeah, it's basically gone. So it's definitely got that nice bitter pale ale style of being a bit moreish and a bit the drying nature making you go up for more. Because yeah, I think I'm gonna have to refill my glass up with whatever's left. But yeah, all I can say is I am feeling quite calm, chilled and relaxed after drinking this beer. So that's going to do it for today. Just had a look at the can, and there is also mosaic in this beer, which will explain why I was getting the sort of mango vibes, because I know mosaic's sort of on the mango-y front. So that explains a lot. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see my future videos when they come out. And I will see you on the next one. Cheers.